No matter how good you are, people will never pay attention to that. But if you make one mistake, everyone will look at it and shame you. My biggest fear would, I think, probably be being a disappointment. This time won't be here later. They're gonna grow up one day and they're just going to and you're gonna say, "Oh, do you want to do this with me? Do you want to do that with me?" But they're gonna be too busy to do stuff with you. No matter how hard life is, keep trying. Don't give up. I would tell my future self that I had the most amazing childhood any kid could ever ask for. On a scale of 1 to 10, rate how well your experience was with your child when they were like small.
100. अस्सलाम वालेकुम, मेरा नाम यासिर सईद है। जाजू पॉडकास्ट पे वेलकम। एक नया सेक्शन स्टार्ट किया है हमने, एक नया सेगमेंट है विच इज कॉल्ड 50 क्वेश्चंस विद किड्स। हमारी पहली होस्ट इज समबडी वेरी क्लोज टू मी, इट्स माय डॉटर एलेना, और आज हम उसके साथ थोड़ी सी डिस्कशन करते हैं। तो लेट्स वेलकम एलेना।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
क्या हाल है एलेना?
मैं ठीक हूँ।
Okay, so how do you feel about being on a podcast?
I feel very nervous, but I'm also very excited because it's my first time on a podcast.
Chalo, good. Let's start with our 50 questions, Teek.
Okay.
So let's start with the first question. So the first question is, if you could change one thing about the world, what would that be and why?
I think I would change wars because I just don't like wars in general. Like, people die in wars and it's just not okay. I just feel like there should be more world peace.
Because I think a lot is happening aajkal
Yeah.
with the whole thing in Gaza. So yeah, it'll be a nice place if everything is peaceful and people live together.
No conflicts.
No conflicts.
Yeah.
So yeah, good. Second question. What's something you think adults don't understand about being 11? You're 11 years old, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Something I think adults do not understand about being 11 years old is like I'm in grade 7 right now. So when my parents were in grade 7, bullying was more like calling each other names and stuff. But now bullying is like a lot more than that. And if I ever talk to my mom or my dad about bullying, they usually think that it's like calling you names, but it's a lot more than that.
What do you mean?
Like physical bullying and just getting in your head a lot, like just spreading rumors about you, and yeah,
That's bad.
it is.
No, but then people say a lot of things. People will always say a lot of things. When we were young, in our schools, people usually do the same. We used to say the same. We used to feel the same kind of bullying. It's common. I think what you I know it's a big problem, but it used to happen in our times as well. But I think the best thing that you can do is not let it get to you. That's the only thing. Bullying was always there. Bullying is still here, and bullying will always be in the future. So I think what we understood and what our parents told us was that it doesn't matter what people say and what they call you. You need to be confident inside. So it doesn't matter what people say. Otherwise, abhi to school hai, and you're in school and this bullying is happening. It'll happen in your professional life. It'll happen.
It doesn't happen to me, but I see people around me getting bullied.
No, has anyone bullied you?
I mean, yeah, in like grade 4, someone has.
So how did you deal with it?
In the beginning, I told my parents. So I told you and my mom. And when it got really out of hand, you messaged the school vice principal, and then she just set things straight between me and my bully.
Dekhiye, if you have a good relationship with your parents, that's where parents come in. I mean, if something goes wrong, I will do anything in my power to stop anyone hurting my child. And I think that's the way parents should be, because it was same with my parents. We can do whatever, and they would thrash us at home, but outside we were one team always. So we never had an issue. They could beat us up in the house or they could scold us in the house. But when it was outside, uh, be it our fault or not our fault, our parents they were always on our side, and that was a good. Um, that was a very good reassurance, and that was a very good confidence boost that anyone, everyone, the whole world can be against us, but our parents, our siblings were on our side, and that's a good support system. So once you have that, I don't think bullying will matter to you a lot. It will affect you, but if you have a good support system, it won't matter that much.
You're right.
So good. Let's go to our third question. If you could have any superpower, what would it be and how would you use it?
Like, I feel like if I would ever have any superpower for right now, then it would definitely be like rewinding time. Because sometime, so that like, if I ever come to school late and I miss something, I can just rewind time, and if I'm having the best moment of my life, but then it goes, I can just rewind and feel that again.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
It's a nice thing to think about. Good superpower. But then you can control everything, and you can go back anywhere in time and do anything.
Yeah, that's the good thing about it.
Chalo, that's good. So let's go for the fourth question. What's the coolest thing you've learned this year, and why do you think it's cool?
I think the coolest thing I've learned this year is making candles, because I just feel like making candles just makes me happy, because you can be so creative with making candles. Like, you can put seashells in it, you can put flowers in it, you can put colors in it. Like, I just love the creativity people can do with candles, and I'm trying to learn that as well.
And that's a good skill to have. You can start a business later.
I'm not exactly that fond of candle making to make like a whole business. I just like it as a hobby.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, so if you could spend a day with anyone alive or dead, who would it be, and what would you do?
I think it would be my favorite musician, Michael Jackson.
Really?
Yeah.
Michael Jackson is my also one of my favorites.
Really?
Yeah.
That's nice.
So what would you do?
I would probably learn the moonwalk with him. Like, if, like, I would probably learn from the creator how to do the moonwalk. He would probably teach me the best way how to.
I think there are only a few people who I missed when they passed away. I think one was Michael Jackson, the other one was Steve Jobs. But yeah, good choice. What do you think the world will be when you're 35 years old?
Hopefully, very futuristic and very more, basically, more futuristic.
Is it good or bad?
Good. I hope that it will be good in the future.
What are you looking for in the future?
Um, I think more greenery, more trees.
तो काट ही जा रहे हैं. We're getting rid of all the greenery and forestation.
Yeah, but I think if you're cutting down trees, like, as you're cutting down trees, you should plant another one.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah.
So, like, if you cut down one tree, you should plant one more.
So when you're 35, you're 11 now. So when you're 35, what do you think will happen in the world?
Inshallah, Gaza will finally be free, and Palestine will finally be free. And more world peace. And flying cars.
Flying cars. We used to think we will get flying cars. You've seen Back to the Future.
Yes.
Part two.
Yeah.
And we actually thought, we'll have flying cars. We never got flying cars. I hope you get flying cars.
I hope in the future Elon Musk decides to make flying cars.
No, he's sending us to Mars. I don't know about flying cars, but he's sending us to Mars.
Maybe flying cars will be there somewhere in the future.
Chalo, let's hope. Let's see.
Yeah,
I hope to see you when you're 35.
Inshallah, you will.
Inshallah. So, what's the best piece of advice you've received and who gave it to you?
The best piece of advice that I received was from you, and it was that don't let what other people say get to your head. So, like, don't let people judge you. You know?
Yeah. Matlab, look, people are gonna say a lot of things. They will say a lot of nasty things, and good or bad. I mean, whatever you do, you do good things, you do bad things. People are going to say a lot of things to you, and I think the best way is to not let it get to you. You should know who you are. You should know where you came from, who you are, and not pay attention to what people say, because people say a lot of nasty stuff. You're very young, you get to my age, you realize people are not going to stop. They will, and you need to have a thick skin, and not let it bother you.
I've learned a very important lesson this year, and that is that Albert Einstein said this once, that no matter how good you are, people will never pay attention to that. But if you make one mistake, everyone will look at it and shame you.
It's true. So it doesn't matter. As I said, just keep your head down. You should know who you are. Stay confident. Work on yourself, and not let people pull you down.
Yes.
So yeah, good advice. What's something you wish you could teach everyone in the world?
I hope I can teach most people in the world about, like, more about Islam.
Okay.
So, like, maybe non-Muslims, I can teach them about Islam and somehow get them to convert into Islam.
And I think the best way to do that is to be a good Muslim, become an example, be the. I mean, people look at you and say, "I want to be like her." That's the best way to spread whatever you're teaching.
So, like, become people's role model.
Yeah, and because when you do something which is so nice, you dress up a certain way. You have morals, kind of morals that when somebody meets you and they're so inspired by who you are, they would like to be
Become
you. Yeah. So yeah, that's a very good thing. If you could invent something to make life easier or more fun, what would it be?
I think, this is hard. I think I would invent a time machine. Because, I don't know, I was always interested in the 1900s. So, like, the 1970s, the 1980s, and the 1990s. I've been told very good things about that time. And I just always wanted to go back and maybe be born in the 1970s and just feel how you guys felt.
We would be the same age if you were born in the
We were.
the 70s. It was a good time. It was very nice. This is also a very good time, but that was a very good time. We watched a lot of things, and the internet came about. The computers were invented, cassettes and CDs, and all of that. So it was a good time. Good time to have. What is your biggest fear?
Now this is very difficult to think about because I have a lot of fears. Like most people, I'm scared of snakes. And I used to be scared of clowns. I mean, I still am, but not that much.
Your biggest fear?
My biggest fear would, I think, probably be being a disappointment.
Really?
Yeah.
To who?
I don't know, to my family, to my parents, to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why do you feel that?
I don't know. I'm not really that scared of really anything, but I just don't want to be down upon and people saying, you could have done this, but you didn't, and just be disappointed in me.
But you do realize that, look, when you have kids, inshallah, one day, you will realize that your parents will never be disappointed in you, ever, whatever you do. So I think I hear you, but I will tell you that this is not something that you should worry about.
No, but it's like after I watched the movie It the Clown, I was always scared that the clown was just gonna come for me one day. But I knew that it's it's fantasy and It the Clown was not real. Just like I know that you would never be disappointed in me, but it's just a fear that I hope never comes true.
No, but look, man, whatever I was telling you, pehle bhi, you should not care about what people think.
But I should care about what my family thinks of me.
To a certain point, but not to a point where you get affected by it. We're your parents. I mean, I'm very proud of who you are and what you've become and what you will eventually become. You're smart, you're intelligent, you're on a podcast, and you have some really nice things to say. If you are, I think the only thing that you should worry about is not to disappoint yourself rather than other people. If you have a goal, if you have a target, be good at that, achieve that. So rather than being fearing somebody else's disappointment, you should not disappoint yourself. That's a much bigger task. So improve yourself, work on yourself, be healthy, be smart, do the right thing, help people, set goals for yourself rather than somebody else, even your parents, somebody else setting goals for you. That's not the right approach. If and I think you should think about this. It's not anybody else's disappointment, even your father or your mother. Just don't disappoint yourself. Set goals for yourself and then work on those goals. Doesn't matter what people say. Look, parents will never be disappointed. We love you, we care about you. You're the best thing that we could ever ask for. But then your disappointment in yourself, I think that's something that you need to look into. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. What's one healthy habit you think everybody should try to follow?
I feel like everyone should limit how much junk food they're eating. So you should not eat a lot of junk food because it's bad for you. So you should just limit the amount of junk food. Like if you like a certain type of chips, then you should make like a day in a week that you are only gonna eat that. Only one.
Why can't we just eliminate junk food? It's junk food.
I mean, that's hard because everyone wants like a salty or a sweet treat once. So I feel like it would just be better if you don't have it all the time. You just have it like once in a week or once in a month.
Because it is bad for you eventually.
It is bad for you, but if you don't have like a lot, then it isn't as bad for you.
It's pretty bad.
It is, but still, I mean, I don't think people can just stop eating junk food. That I don't think that's possible. That people just think one day, let's just stop eating junk food.
But it's a good advice. I mean, people can at least try to limit. Yeah? That's a good advice. Why do adults say some foods are bad when they still eat them?
Now, I think that's wrong because if you're telling your child that this, you should not eat this, but you're eating it yourself, then then you shouldn't because it's bad. You're supposed to lead by example because they're looking up to you.
So why do people do it?
Do it.
Eat junk food or eat bad food?
I feel like it's just an addiction that people cannot stop.
Yeah.
Like,
one way of putting it,
because
yeah.
junk food just tastes so good, and even I'm saying that because I'm a kid and I love eating chips. And they just taste so good. And I don't think it's that easy for me to just wake up one day and decide I'm never gonna eat junk food again.
But we can always try.
We can always try. Like nowadays, I'm trying to limit how much junk food I eat because I'm realizing that it is bad for me.
Okay. Why do adults worry so much about weight if being happy is more important?
I think that's wrong because you instead of worrying about something you can fix, you should just start fixing it. Like if you're worried about your weight, just stop being worried. Just fix your weight. Start exercising, start eating less because you shouldn't be worried about things that you can fix in the end.
Because this is something that you can fix.
Yes.
It's that same idea that people worry so much, and it's not going to happen overnight. It's difficult. It's a very difficult thing to do. But if you want to look good and if you want to stay healthy, you need to do some sacrifices, and eating less is a part of it, and exercising is a part of it. It requires a lot of discipline. It requires a lot of hard work and struggle, and people should, and you rightly said, that people should stop worrying about it and start working on it. It's a good advice. Why do adults tell kids to go outside and play, but they stay inside most of the time?
No, I also think that that's wrong because if you're telling your child to go outside and play by themselves and you're staying inside yourself, that's wrong because when the kid gets older, this time that you had but you didn't use it will be gone. Like, so instead of just sitting inside, staying on your phone all day, you'd go outside and play with your kids to make memories because after, like, when they're older, they won't have time to play outside with their father or their mother.
You're right.
Hmm.
We don't think about this at times. I remember you were a few months old, and now you're 11, and you'll be 21. Time's flying, and I know what you're saying, and I try and spend as much time, and I'm still not doing enough.
No, I'm fine with you not spending time with me because I know why you can't because you're trying to make my life better by earning money and so I can get what I want in the end. So you're earning money for our food, our school, and this and that and this and that.
But I think it's a sacrifice. If I give you time, I won't give you that lifestyle, and all of what is required in that lifestyle. And if I give you
Less time.
lifestyle, I won't be able to give you time. But I think there has to be some kind of a balance. I'm glad you understand this, because a lot of kids don't understand this, especially with their fathers. Mothers can give that time, and because they are home, they can invest that time and make up for what the fathers cannot do. But I'm glad you understand my position and our position as fathers.
Because I know that the times that you are free and you do hang out with us, you make it like one of the best times ever.
Well, I'm glad. I'm very glad. How come adults know stress is bad for them, but they still get stressed out so much?
I mean, adults shouldn't get stressed, but because they have to worry about money and their kids and this, so it's hard to not be stressed. I mean, I understand what the stress is about, but maybe you should just just step back from your work and take a breather, just 5 minutes of rest so you can just clear your mind and understand things more. So I understand it, but not fully because I'm still 11 years old, so I don't get stressed. But you should not always be stressed. If you're stressed, then just take a minute, take a breather.
I think when you grow old, you realize, what kind of stresses there are. But that's fine. I mean, it's a part of being an adult. Stress is a part of life, and you can never have a stress-free life, and that's the beauty of it. And I think the most important idea and advice for you is stress is real. It's a part of life. Life is about stress, so you accept it and you move on. You don't get frustrated or worried about why I'm getting stressed, because life is like that. So uh, it's all about how you react to the stress, because ye nahi ho sakta. It's not possible for you to say कि there can never be stress in my life. There will be stress in your life. As a kid, there will be stress in your life. As a teenager, there'll be stress in your life. As an adult, there will be stress in your life. And somebody who's very old, there'll be stress in their life. It's how you react to that stress. You cannot wish for a stress-free life, because stress sometimes it helps you grow. It helps you grow as a person. Failure helps you grow as a person. So I think a very important key takeaway from this is stress is not bad. It's how you react to that stress. Always keep that in mind.
Okay.
If drinking water is so important, why do adults drink so much soda, coffee, and tea instead?
Um, I think that adults drink more soda, coffee, and tea because they have a lot of work that needs to be done. So all of this keeps them awake and more energetic to do that stuff.
Kind of.
Because soda has electrolytes, I think, or caffeine, and coffee has caffeine. I don't know about tea, but
Tea also has caffeine.
Yeah. So maybe it's just that to keep them awake, even though they should also drink water sometimes, but maybe it's just that they have lots of work to do and they have to stay awake and they have to stay energetic to do that work.
Yeah. Okay, why do adults work so much if spending time with the family is more important?
Now, I don't I don't think it's that wrong because spending time with family is important, but if you want to give your family a nice life and a nice childhood and a nice place to grow up, then you have to work for it. Because money doesn't grow on trees. You have to work for money. You have to work hard. You have to make sacrifices. So you can't always be with your family, but when you have the time, when you're free and you're doing nothing, then it you should stay with your family. You should take all the time that you have and
Quality time, basically. You cannot stay with your children all the time, but whenever you stay with them, whenever you spend time with them, that should be quality time, right?
You should make it very good and very nice.
Yeah.
Because you're not always there.
No, I'm glad. I'm very proud of how you approach all of this, because a lot of kids complained about people, parents especially, not spending time with them.
I mean, I also get sad sometimes, but then I realize that he's doing this for my life. He's doing this so I can have a better life when I grow up and right now.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad how you're thinking and understanding this. Why do Why do grown-ups always say they don't have enough time, but they spend hours on their phone?
Now, I think that's wrong. But if you're on your phone because of work purposes, then it's fine because you have to work. But if you're on your phone free, just watching videos, I mean, that's fine too because you don't always get to watch videos. But you should take spend most of that time watching. Instead of watching videos, you should all also like pay attention to your children and give them some time and interact with them and play with them.
So less, because look, in my case, I work all day, and then by the time I'm back, some days when I'm back, you guys are already asleep. So, but you're right, because I think about this, and sometimes you've mentioned it as well. When I am around you and I'm doom scrolling, maybe that is something that I can try and avoid and reduce. So yeah, if making mistakes help you learn, why do adults get so upset when they do wrong?
I think it's because if you're a child and you make a mistake, then it's okay, just try again tomorrow. But if you're an adult and you make a mistake during work or something, then that mistake can cost a lot, So if you were working on something and you put a lot of effort and a lot of money in it and you made a mistake in something, then all of that money goes down the drain and all of that effort gone.
It's true, because as children you have us, but as adults,
no one.
we don't. We are the providers and the protectors. So yeah, I mean, it's a valid point. That's what most of the adults think, because kids can still afford to make a mistake.
Because they have their parents to help them fix that mistake, but adults, they have to fix it on their own, and they don't, because they don't really have anyone.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Why do adults say money isn't everything but worry so much about it?
No, this is pretty hard, but I think adults say this so that they're telling their children that money isn't everything, so don't worry so much about money, so don't think that money is like everything. But they worry like more about money because they're the providers and they need money for the house bill, the electricity bill, and the for your child's food, for your child's school. So they worry about money because they need it, but they teach their children that money isn't everything because money is not really everything. Family is everything, and yeah.
But I also think that it's not bad to actually, you shouldn't say this to your children, that money is not everything. Well, it is important, and I think from a very young age, if you start telling children that they should think about and value money, is for them to not feel guilty about making money, starting a business. Because look, if you have to help someone, and if you want to help humanity, you want to change the world, you still need money.
I do agree with you, but I'm just trying to say that money isn't everything. Family is definitely more important than money. So money isn't the most important thing in the world.
It's not. But look, again, I think you also understand this. Money is important. You have a family, and you cannot provide that family with the requirements that the family has. So then, you know, a family without provisions will be bitter, will not be very happy. And I think it depends on the father. It's the job of the head of the family, whoever's the head of the family, the father, or if the father is not present, the mother. But then I think we understand as adults that money is important for the provision.
I mean, money is important. Like if there's as a child, if there's something that makes you happy, like a toy or a snack, then in the end, what buys the toy and the snack? Money. So I do agree that money is important, but it's not the most important thing in the world.
No, but look, okay, look at it from this point of view. It's say not we're not just talking about material things. You want to help someone. Somebody, somebody doesn't have tuition fee to pay or go, money to go to school. If you don't have enough, how will you help them? If a girl wants to, somebody's sister or somebody's daughter wants to get married, and they don't have the money to arrange that wedding, and if you don't have money, how will you help them? You want to change something in your neighborhood, and that requires a bit of money, and you don't have money, how will you help them? So I think, money has to do with material things, but money is also very important um, regarding helping someone. And I think the whole idea of us as Muslims is to and as humans is to help people. And by helping people, it's all about providing through money. And if you don't have money, how will you provide? Why do adults tell kids to follow their dreams but sometimes give up on their own?
Um, I think adults tell kids to follow their dreams so that maybe they can. So if a kid wants to be a baker, so and the parent tells them you should follow your dreams, you should keep thinking that I will become a baker. So the child starts working on their baking skills, and as they get older, they're getting better at it and better at it. So when they're old, they're just like a professional baker, very good at baking, and they can just start a business and earning money by baking. But I don't exactly know why adults don't follow their dreams. Maybe it's because it's hard to, because if you see that if you're working for your dream and it's not working out, then you give up. But you shouldn't, because you should keep fighting, because who knows, one day your business or something might become big. You shouldn't just quit right away as you see it's not working. You should keep fighting, keep trying.
So you're saying not to give up on your dreams, even as adults.
You should just keep trying.
Yeah, it's a good, solid advice. Why do grown-ups tell kids to be kind but then argue and fight with each other?
Okay, grown-ups tell kids to be kind so that, like, they don't hurt any of their friends' feelings being young, and they tell their kids to be kind so that growing up they're not very rude and mean. But I think adults fight because it's hard being an adult.
No, adults should not fight. Why do they fight? Why do they argue? You say don't argue, and then they argue. Why is that?
I mean, they shouldn't, but sometimes if someone's not listening and they're not even listening, even if you say it politely, you have to argue a little bit. You have to raise your voice a little bit.
Well, I always say, look, you lead by example. So when you have kids, your kids look up to you. So if you want them to be polite, you need to be polite yourself. I think there is no excuse. If you tell your kids to be kind, you as parents and as adults, you need to be kinder. That's what I think. That's what I believe. Because it's not going to work otherwise. You ask your children to pray 5 times a day and you don't.
Then they're gonna think it's not that important.
No, but they will see through your hypocrisy. They will eventually feel that my father.
Why am I doing it and they're not doing it?
Yeah, yeah. So I think it's always a good idea as parents to do what you want your children to do. They're not going to understand otherwise. They will eat what you eat. They will do what you do. They will behave how you behave. So, as a parent, I think there is no excuse. You need to do everything that you want your children to do. So, if adults know how important it is to relax, why do they find it so hard to take a break?
I think adults can't exactly be calm if they have a business that, and their I feel like their mindset is that if I take a break, I why am I taking a break? I could be doing this and that and this and that. I What if this happens while I'm taking a break? What if that happens while I'm taking a break? I mean, they do know that taking a break is good and you should do it once in a while, but I think they're just scared to.
Hmm?
Like, what if something happens while I'm taking a break? What if I could be doing this for my company, but I'm taking a break instead? I mean, that shouldn't be a mindset. That it You should take a break sometimes and just stop worrying about what will happen. Just take a break and then come back to your work. You will feel so much better.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Why do adults always worry about what other people think if being happy with yourself is what really matters?
I mean, adults are like adults are humans, and humans do sometimes think what other people might be thinking about them, and I feel like that's just a human instinct to think about what other people are thinking about you, and you can stop that, but some people just can't. But they should, but they can't.
But that's you said it right. They should, because people are going to judge. People are going to comment. We talked about this early as well. That once you get to the point where you stop caring about what people say to you, and not just everything, but if you can stop taking the negative comments and negative feedback seriously, you will be in a better place mentally and emotionally. So I think you know being happy yourself is important. What people think shouldn't matter.
You're right.
Okay. So if adults say laughter is the best medicine, why don't they laugh more often?
I feel like adults tell their children that laughter is best medicine because they want to see their children laugh. They want to see their children to be happy. They want to see their children being happy and laugh and just happy in general, because I feel like that just looking at your child happy just makes you happy. But I feel like adults don't laugh that often because I guess they don't have time to laugh, and what do they have?
Everybody has time to laugh.
But what do they have to laugh for? I mean, they should laugh. They should be happy around their child so their child is happy. You shouldn't be sad and lazy around your child. You should be energetic and happy and laughing around your child so that they know that my father is happy and I have nothing to worry about. Because I know that, like, if you're ever sad, then I don't know why, but I just get worried.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think it's very important because again, all of these questions they talk about the double standard where we tell you something and we don't do it ourselves. So I think, and you're right because laughter is not that
It's not that hard.
it's not that hard, and people tend to forget how fun it is to laugh at times. So I think everybody should try, and I try, but I think I need to try more to laugh.
I mean, you should at least laugh like 1, 2, 3 times a day.
No, I think more.
There's a study that says you should laugh more than 7 times a day.
I think, yeah, yeah, yeah. If sharing is caring, why do adults sometimes keep things to themselves?
I don't understand. I don't understand the question.
I mean, again, people say, yeah, sharing is caring, but then they don't share. You know,
I've
people
never.
get very possessive about their things and their belongings. And, we've heard this sharing is caring, but people don't share.
If you're telling someone that sharing is caring, but you keep stuff to yourself, then you shouldn't. Because if sharing is caring, share your stuff. Or else you can't tell other people sharing is caring, share this with me if you're not sharing something with them.
Mm.
That's wrong.
Yeah. Why do adults tell their kids to be patient but then get frustrated when things take too long?
I mean, it's pretty hard to be patient if you're waiting for something and you've been waiting for so long, then you might get frustrated and a little angry. Like if you're in a restaurant and you're waiting for your food for like half an hour and you're just frustrated and thinking, "Where's my food?" You know. So I think being patient is hard.
But it is important because life
it is important.
takes time. Everything takes time. Good things take time. So I think it is good to be patient.
And being patient is a part of life, or else life will be very hard for you if you're not patient.
Because if you're frustrated all the time, it's no fun. Because look, God has a plan. Allah has a plan. Everything has to happen when it's supposed to happen. And then if you get too frustrated, you're actually not agreeing with God's plan.
I mean, being patient is a little difficult, but you should try to be patient. You should try your best.
I think everybody should. Why do grown-ups focus so much on planning the future if they say it's important to live in the present?
Um, I guess they plan the future because no one knows what will happen in the future. Only Allah knows. So they're just preparing. I guess for what will happen in the future, they're just preparing.
But if God has a plan and you cannot do anything about it, then,
Don't always worry about the future.
But should we ever worry about the future?
I mean, kabhi kabhar, like if you hear that there's maybe in the future there will be a hurricane or a tornado, then you should be worried that tornado aega, hurricane aega. I should start preparing.
No, but some people just, worry about the future which they don't know about and have not even seen. There might not be a hurricane.
I mean, you should only worry about the future if there's a very good reason to worry about it. But now you shouldn't. You should just be happy with the present and you should just be working on the present, not the future.
It is important because we spend a lot of time, regretting the past and worrying about the future, and what we have at the present gets compromised. So yeah. If adults say kindness costs nothing, why don't they use it more often?
Why don't they use kindness?
More often.
That's bad. I mean, if you're saying if you're telling your child kindness costs nothing, you should be more kind, then the parent should also be kind.
Because kindness literally doesn't cost anything.
Yeah, it's good to be kind.
It's yeah. You're talking to someone. You can just give them a smile. It's free. You can say something nice to somebody. It's free.
And like whenever you're passing in front of someone who's like a poor person, you can just give them a little smile.
Hmm?
Hmm.
Acknowledge them, give them a smile or something.
Like you can give
I mean,
them
it's
money
literally
as well.
free kindness. It's free, and people don't find in their heart to be kind to other people. But they expect to be if for they expect other people to be kind to them. But sometimes they don't want to be kind to people. So it's complicated. Why do grown-ups say they miss being a kid but then rush kids to grow up?
I don't think grown-ups rush kids to grow up.
I don't. I
So I've never had experience with that, so I don't exactly know.
because I miss you guys being kids, and I think you're
miss
growing
that
up.
too.
I think you're growing up too fast. So, but some people, I think they do think and they do wait for their kids to grow up. Maybe I think it's one of the reasons is for them to help out, to support, to be a part of whatever the business or the provision. So I think maybe that's an angle, but some people do wait for their kids to grow up. But I think kids being small, it's a blessing. It's a joy. It's a privilege. But then when your kids grow up, it's different.
It's sad. You just miss when they were this small.
Yeah.
And you used to play with them and
Yeah.
hang out with them.
Yeah. 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 It's true.
You used to miss when you can just hold them in your arms and put them on your shoulders.
Yes, I miss that. If adults say it's important to take risks, why are they often so afraid to try new things?
I mean, they probably say that to kids because kids have like, again, it's like the question that we did before this. So, like, if you take risks and it goes wrong, you have your parents to with you to fix that. I think, and but if you're taking risks as an adult, it's hard because you don't know what might happen. And as a kid, if you're taking risks, don't worry because you have your parents and you're going to be all right if something goes wrong. But as an adult, you're scared of taking risks because anything can go wrong with that risk.
But then we have Allah.
We do, yeah.
So
We shouldn't be scared of taking risks. We should always be open to trying new things. But some people are just like that and they should change it.
at least they should try. If being different is what makes you special, why do adults try so hard to be the same as everybody else?
To fit in, I think.
Yeah.
To fit in more.
Yeah. Why?
With the standards.
Why?
Because I guess adults don't want to be different because I feel like as an adult, if you want to be different, then people might judge you for
But
being different and not fitting the society standards.
but should we care?
We should not care. If we want to be different, let's be different. If we want to be, if we're an adult that likes fun and likes to, just being a child, then who cares? It's your choice. No one is judging you. And even if
I mean, people judge you.
people do, but you shouldn't care.
But I think it's the same argument that we do care a lot about what people think about us, but I think that's
But you
where
should just really just tune out the bad thoughts and let in the good thoughts.
that's a nice way of putting it. Yeah, it's. I think one of the biggest things in anybody's life is to be confident enough to not care what people say or think, because I think most of the things that we do is to please other people and not to please yourself. So I think that's a lot of pressure on the society, that what society might think or say. So I think that's one thing. If you can tune that out, life is pretty simple. It's not that complicated.
Yeah, you should. If you're a people pleaser, you shouldn't. Because being a people pleaser all the time is just bad. Never doing what pleases you and always doing what other people like.
Hmm. No, sahi hai. It's true. It's true. Why do adults say that time heals all wounds but still hold on to grudges?
I've never heard that in my life, so I have no idea what that means.
It means that whatever the bad memory or an incident, after some time you'll forget about it.
Hmm.
But then people do hold grudges, and they stay angry with someone for a very long time.
Now that's bad because you should always learn to forgive and forget.
Because life is too short. I mean, for you, it's you're not gonna realize this, but in my case, I'm almost halfway through, maybe more, and then why keep a grudge?
Yeah, you should stop living in the past and look at the future and just forget and forgive the past and start looking at the future.
Can you forgive people?
Yes, I think I can.
Why don't people not forgive people?
Because I guess it's just hard for them to forgive this person.
Why?
I guess they think that if I forgive this person, what will I get? Why am I always forgiving people? I guess that's what they think, but forgiving people is good.
Because it's
Give them a second chance to prove themselves.
But should I tell you something? I think not forgiving someone is a burden. You're not doing it. You're not doing it for them. You're doing it for yourself. Because when you forgive someone, you put that burden off your shoulders because you're carrying that burden. They won't care. So if you forgive, you put that burden off you. But if you don't forgive them, you will keep that burden on your shoulders for the rest of your life. So that's not for them, it's for you. If adults know that nobody's perfect, why are they so hard on themselves?
I feel like I don't know. I guess it's just me, but I feel like being hard on yourself. Don't be too hard, but like being a little hard on yourself is good because you can get things done and
You improve yourself.
yeah, you improve yourself by being a little hard on yourself, but don't be like too hard on yourself. Okay, you know.
Hmm? No, it's true. I mean, it's you're right. I mean, being hard on yourself is not a bad thing, but just being obsessively hard on yourself all the time, that you can avoid. But being hard on yourself once in a while is pretty okay. Hmm. Why do grown-ups say that happiness comes from within, but they look for it in things? Can things make you happy?
Can you repeat the question? I did not get that.
Why do grown-ups say that happiness comes from within, but look for it in things?
Um, I don't know. I guess
Because I mean, okay, um, can something make you happy, or you can be happy without anything?
I think both are true. Some things do make you happy, and you can just sometimes just be happy.
Because a lot of people think that once I get this I'll be happy, once I do that I'll be happy, once I find this or acquire that or buy this I'll be happy. So the question basically is, okay, maybe it's not about things and people and places. Either you're happy or you're not happy, and people should try to be happy from inside, and then whatever they approach or whatever they buy, whoever they meet, that's a different kind of happiness. Because people tend to put limits, put conditions that, I'm not happy because, of this. I'm not happy because of that. You can still choose to be happy or not happy. That's a choice. So happiness is kind of a choice. It's a choice. It's not because of something or the other. It's a choice. You can be happy in any situation, in any circumstances. You can just decide that, I can be either this or that. I'll decide to be this.
It doesn't kill you to be happy sometimes. Even if nothing's going on and you're just normal, just try being happy, because I feel like if you're happy and you're like in a group or something, then you being happy makes other people feel comfortable.
Oh, it's happiness is yeah, it lifts people up. I mean, I always try to be the person who has a positive vibe. If somebody meets me, I'll try to always keep a positive vibe about me. People should not meet me and feel, oh, there was such a negative vibe,
Think
and
he liked me. They should.
yeah, and वैसे भी, I mean, sometimes, people meet people and just to feel better. You're on your own and there's so much going on in your head. So you, just to get out of your head, you meet somebody else, and if that person has a positive vibe, you feel better. You feel uplifted. But if the other person has a negative vibe,
You start overthinking, like, what if they didn't like me? What if I wasn't good enough? And you just don't feel very good.
so that means, I mean, you should stay happy for yourself and for others. It's also not going to cost you anything. What's going to happen will happen. So might as well just be okay with it and stay happy. If it's what on the inside that counts, why do adults care so much about appearances?
Again, I think they care more about appearance because they want to fit in.
No, but do you think looking good is important?
No, not really.
And do you think you should look bad?
No, but I don't think that you should be obsessed with looking good. I have to look clean. I have to look good. You shouldn't be very obsessed with that. You should also, I mean, it's like looking pretty on the outside but looking ugly on the inside. That's not okay.
But I think both are important.
Yeah, but
don't you think?
you shouldn't be too obsessed with looking good, looking amazing, looking better than this person, looking better than this person. You should work on both outside and inside equally.
Because people tend to look their best from outside, but
But
they're
the
just
inside is just messed up.
yeah. So I think it's important. Both are important. You need to be pretty from inside as well as from outside. So I think both are very important.
Equally, both are very important.
Yeah. Why do adults say you can't buy happiness but still try to shop their way to feeling better?
I feel like you can't buy happiness is kind of a lie.
Can you buy happiness?
I mean, I don't mean in that sense that you can buy happiness. I mean, if there's a thing, especially with kids, sometimes there's a toy or a snack that makes them happy. So how else do you get it? You have to buy it.
No, it correlates with the previous question, that you can always say, if I get this, I'll be happy. If I get that, I'll be happy. If I buy or, purchase this, I'll be happy. But maybe you can be happy without anything. You can just be happy and then see what you want, because we're buying a lot of things that we don't need. Just because, everybody else is buying it, we buy it. Just thinking that this might make me happy or that might make me happy. But if you're not happy from inside,
then you will never be happy. You will never.
You can
be
buy whatever you want. You
satisfied.
can buy all the clothes and all the food and all the houses and all the cars, whatever you want. But if you're not happy inside, you're not going to be happy.
You'll never really be happy. You'll never really be satisfied with how much you get.
It's
You'll always want
because
more.
it never stops. There's always something else, something better. Why do grown-ups say that honesty is important but sometimes avoid telling the truth?
I mean, they do tell their kids that honesty is important, but if the parent is suffering like a financial crisis and they're just sad and lazy and just sad in general, they're not going to come home and tell their children that I'm sad, I'm suffering a financial crisis.
What's wrong with it?
Not.
It's your family, it's
I
your
know,
kids.
but sometimes the kid just gets worried, you know?
But don't you think it's still better to be honest?
It is better to be honest, but don't. I feel like don't be too straightforward with your kids. Maybe when they get a little older, then they'll understand. But right now, they're just. I think they just get like scared. Like, what's gonna happen now? They're just gonna get scared and frustrated that what's gonna happen. I'm scared. कि ये हो जाएगा, ये हो
So do you
जाएगा.
think it's better to lie?
You shouldn't lie, but I mean, you can tell your children, but just don't look sad. You should, you should look more happy so that they feel okay. My dad is okay. I'm okay. Now I won't feel sad and I won't feel scared that what's gonna happen.
Okay. If adults know that helping others make you feel good, why don't they do it more often?
Helping other. What was it? The question.
If adults know that helping others make you feel good, why don't they do it more often? Because helping others definitely does make you feel good.
Yeah, it just makes your heart feel better.
Yeah.
No, it just makes you feel like you're a good person.
Yeah, but people don't tend to help.
And that's wrong. You should. If you're feeling sad and you feel that something's missing in your life, then you should just start helping people and you will feel the change in your life. You will, instead of being sad all the time, you're gonna be happy because you're helping this person. You're gonna think that I'm a good person and I'm happy because I'm just helping around.
But do you think helping others for you to feel good is justified? I mean, because then maybe you're not helping somebody else, you're doing it for yourself.
That is wrong. You should be helping someone because they're in need of help. Because they need it.
You know, a lot of people give charity just for them to feel better that we're giving charity.
And also just for show that, oh my god, she's looking at me and I'm giving charity. She must think that I'm really good.
So, I mean,
it's wrong. You should also do it because the person needs it. You shouldn't just be doing it for yourself. You should be doing it because this person needs my help, so I will help them. I'm not doing it for my happiness.
not a lot of people do this for their own satisfaction.
But
is that wrong?
I mean, it's okay, but but mostly you should be helping a person because they need that help. You shouldn't be helping them for your own satisfaction. Like, what if you didn't need that satisfaction? Would you just not help that person? You have to help them.
But that's a good motivation because when you help somebody, you feel good about it.
It is a good motivation, but you shouldn't only help people because then you feel satisfied. You should help people because they need it. In the end, they need your help. If they need your help.
Why do adults say you should do what you love but then choose jobs they don't enjoy?
I mean, they tell their children, do what you love right now. But I feel like they choose jobs that they don't want to choose because I mean you don't really have a choice if you want to get into a company that you really, really like for a very long time and they just don't take you, then what do you do after that?
Should you give up?
you shouldn't give up. But if you keep trying and they keep declining, and you keep trying and you keep declining, they keep declining, then you need some you need some way to make money. You can't just keep trying and they keep declining. You need some way to make some money. So you have to go into a job that you don't like to make money.
I always say, and I tell you this as well, there are two different things. There's passion and there's profession. If you're lucky, you can have your passion and your profession as one. The kind of work that you do, if it's your passion as well as your profession, you're very lucky. But if you're not, then you always need a profession to maybe fund your profession, your passion. So maybe
is this your passion?
this is my passion. So I'm pretty lucky because what I do is something that I enjoy. So it is still work, but I justify it. I'm okay with pulling through because I enjoy it as well. So it's a lucky combination. But if you don't get that lucky, you still should be financially okay, adopt a profession that maybe you don't enjoy.
Because sometimes, I mean, in like, it's true that you don't always get what you want in life.
And sometimes maybe it's a good thing.
Yeah, maybe it's a good thing.
Because we look at things from a very short sighted point of view.
But you should look at it in a certain way that you understand the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Why do grown ups say you should follow your heart but often ignore their own?
Um, I think that's wrong. If you're telling someone to follow your heart, then you should be following it too. But if your heart is telling you to do something that you can't, then don't follow it, I guess.
But a lot of people, say this.
But they don't do it.
They don't do it. Maybe they don't have the.
It's supposed to be lead by example. If you're telling someone, follow your heart, but you're not doing it yourself, then what kind of example are you setting?
Hmm? So again, I think all of this is about, you know, setting an example, do what you say. We say a lot of things, and sometimes we don't act on them. So that's a problem. So okay, so what's one thing you hope adults remember from this conversation that we're having right now?
I hope adults remember. Oh, I hope adults remember that your child isn't always going to stay a child. So if you have the time to spend time with them, take it. And but if you have the time to spend time with them, but you don't take it, you're just on your phone all day, then you should know that this time won't be here later. They're gonna grow up one day and they're just going to, and you're gonna say, oh, do you want to do this with me, do you want to do that with me, but they're gonna be too busy to do stuff with you. They're gonna have their own life to worry about. So if you have the time right now, take it, क्योंकि बाद में नहीं होना.
Great, good advice. If you could give one piece of advice to grown-ups, what would it be? Other than what you said earlier.
Mm. No matter how hard life is, keep trying. Don't give up.
Beautiful. That's a very, very, very sound, very mature advice. I'm very proud of you. What do you think is the key to being happy in life?
Children, because they're tiny, they're cute, and they're just so fun to grow up with.
Yeah. So you should have children all the time.
No, I'm not saying that. I mean, you shouldn't have children all the time. You should just have. I feel like a child would make you happy.
They do. But when they grow up, then what?
Then
What's the
take
key?
care of their children, I guess.
I
Get a
guess.
pet. Take care of their children.
But what's the key to being happy in
The
life?
key to being happy in life is. Keep laughing. Keep smiling. Keep. I don't know. Be happy with what you have.
That's deep. Be happy with what you have. I'll keep you grounded. Because if you accept it and you move on, it'll keep you happy. That's a good advice to be happy with what you have. That's not bad. That's not bad. What's one thing you're excited about for the future?
I'm excited to go to O levels and A levels. Because I've heard the best things about O levels and A levels that you're gonna make so many memories and you're gonna have so much fun. So I'm excited for A levels and O levels. And I'm excited for when I get my driver's license. I can drive around anywhere I want with my family.
Cool. Cool. If you could tell yourself, if you could tell your future self one thing, what would that be?
Um, Life will be hard, but know that there are some amazing people around you.
There might not be amazing people around you in the future.
You will be the amazing people around me, my family.
The family might not be there with you in the future.
So, no matter how hard life treats you, you should always keep trying, I guess. Yeah.
But this is specifically about you to your future self.
I mean, I don't know what to say.
Maybe, and this is we can cut this. Maybe you can tell your future self that your childhood was great. Always remember that.
My childhood is great.
So ये हम इस पे अब दोबारा करते हैं. If you could tell your future self one thing, what would it be?
I would tell my future self that I had the most amazing childhood any kid could ever ask for. Because I had the most amazing parents, the most amazing siblings, and just the most amazing family anyone could ever ask for.
So you should always remember that when you grow up. Whatever the times are, whatever the situation is, always remember that.
That I had the best childhood.
Not bad. Not bad. I also had a great childhood and I always remembered it. So it's a good
I
feeling.
believe that because you were born in the 1970s.
I was. I had great parents, I had great siblings. I was born in the best decade. It was great. What's one thing you should uh, what's one thing you think adults could learn from kids?
Um, Always be happy. Because adults are mostly sad and stressed. But kids are mostly happy, energetic, and because they're kids. And yeah. So you should always learn from kids that no matter what the situation is, you should try laughing or being happy, and it might help.
It will help. Yeah. Good advice. That's a good advice. We're down to last 3 questions and then we're done. If you had the chance to ask adults one big question, what would you want to ask?
How was your childhood? Was it good?
Yeah. But that's not a big question.
Okay.
What's a big question that you want to ask?
On a scale of 1 to 10, rate how well your experience was with your child when they were like small.
100.
100? Oh my god.
From 1 to 10?
Yeah.
100.
Really? Was that good?
It was very good.
I believe that.
No, because it was probably one of the biggest joys in my life.
I don't know. I just feel like every grown up should know that maybe for you, having a children might be the best experience.
It is. It's the one of the best, one of the joyous, one of the most pleasurable experiences of one's life. It's undoubtedly, it was the most beautiful time. It was pretty good. It was amazing. If you could leave one message for people to remember you by, what would it be?
I don't get it. What do you mean?
If you could leave one message to all the people in this world as Elayna Yasser, what would that message be? Something that you're passionate about, something that you want you to be remembered by.
So like a piece of advice?
Yes.
Okay. No matter how good you are, no one is ever going to acknowledge it. So you just have to know that you are good. Because you don't have to you shouldn't be waiting for someone to tell you how good you are, because no one will. You should just know that you are good.
Okay. Last question. The 50th question. We're done. What's something you're grateful for today? And why does it matter to you?
I am grateful for my mom and my dad, because without them, I would never have the best childhood ever. Like, the only reason I love my childhood is because I had one of the world's best moms and dads. Okay.
It's pretty good. Miss Elayna Yasser Said, we're done with the podcast. It was very nice. It was very insightful. I hope you found out something more about yourself and me. I think it was great. I'm very proud. I know you're very smart, but I think how you approached these questions, I think the answers were mind blowing. They were very insightful. You were very small. I remember it, and now you're talking about these kind of things, and it makes me proud. I'm very proud. I think you've done well. It was a great podcast. I don't know if people will enjoy this or like this or not, but I think it was one of the best. It was great. It was truly great. We had fun.
It was a very good experience that I will never forget.
Okay, so let's bid our viewers goodbye. And
Goodbye.
thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you for watching.
Thank you for watching.